because right now we are standing on the dead bodies of our mothers, our fathers, our brothers and sisters. We have become IDPs in our own very country. These killings have persisted for years. A lot of talks have gone on. Only last year, 500,182 people were displaced. We have 21 IDP camps in Benue. These killings won't stop. Up until this moment, nothing is being done.
Yesterday, over 200 people were killed in their sleep. What kind of a thing is this? We are farmers. We are an agrarian state. What are we going to do with the people that are just roaming the streets?
Nigeria is burning, not from wildfire, not from an earthquake, but from a wave of violence so brutal, so relentless, that entire communities are being wiped off the map. This is a fire you cannot see on the evening news, a fire fueled by hatred, extremism, and silence, a fire consuming Christian villages one after another while the world looks away. Across the Middle Belt in the north, midnight raids teared through homes. Families run into the darkness with nothing but their breath. Church bells that once called people to worship now echo through ruins. Nigeria is burning, and the flames are not made of smoke and heat, but of fear, of bloodshed, and of a people crying out for help. If this continues, if the world continues to ignore it, we may witness the disappearance of entire Christian communities that have lived here for centuries. This is the story the world refuses to see, the story of a silent genocide. Nigeria is split almost evenly between Muslims in the north and Christians in the south. For decades, people lived side by side, even through political and economic tensions. But things began to change dramatically in the early 2000s. Two major forces emerged: radical extremist groups, armed militia movements in rural areas. Both would reshape the landscape of religious violence. Organizations like Open Doors, Amnesty International, and International Christian Concern began sounding the alarm. Nigeria steadily rose to become one of the deadliest places in the world to be a Christian. In 2009, a violent extremist group known as Boko Haram launched its insurgency in northeastern Nigeria. Their goal? To establish a strict Islamic state and eliminate Western influence, including Christian education and worship. Church bombings, mass abductions, forced conversions, these became part of their campaign of terror. The world watched when, in 2014, over 270 schoolgirls were kidnapped from Chibok, most of them Christian, but that was just one chapter in a long list of atrocities. While Boko Haram dominates headlines, another wave of violence has quietly devastated Christian communities. Attacks involving armed Fulani militant groups. Not all Fulani people are involved. The Fulani ethnic group is diverse and millions of them are peaceful. But extremist factions have carried out coordinated assaults in villages, especially across Plateau, Kaduna, Benue, Taraba, and Nasarawa states. Entire Christian farming communities have been burned down, thousands killed, hundreds of thousands displaced. Human rights groups argue these attacks are not just clashes, but targeted and systematic. The term genocide is serious. It refers to the intentional destruction of a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group. Many analysts argue the Nigerian Christian communities fit this definition because the attacks consistently target Christians, churches are intentionally burned, pastors and worshippers are singled out, communities are wiped out to remove their religious identity. Patterns show systematic replacement of populations. Reports from global organizations estimate thousands of Christians killed each year, with many more displaced, traumatized, or living as refugees within their own country. Behind every statistic is a real human being. A mother who lost her children in a midnight attack, a pastor who refused to flee and pay the ultimate price, villagers who walk miles daily just to find safety. One survivor from Plateau State recalled, "We woke up to gunshots, They burned our church, our homes, everything. We ran into the bush. We lived there for days with nothing. I don't know where my brother is until today. These stories are repeated over and over from Kaduna to Borno to Benue states.
So, the jihadis come and adopt and kill the priests, leaving thousands without support and basic human services. And of course, when they disperse the people, the inhabitants, or the citizens, or the people of the lands, they take over. And any attempt to go back and take care of your farms, surely you get killed. The Makurdi Diocese in Benue State has been the epicenter of the invasion by these herders who are more like hired guns of cattle oligarchies, who manipulate religion to rally the herders to eliminate the Christian population and cleanse the land in the name of Islam. This objective is behind the relentless attacks against Benue's villages. When we call for help to the police and the army, they do not come.
You may wonder, if this crisis is so severe, why is the world not paying attention? Several reasons come up. Global media focuses more on conflict in the Middle East and Europe. Diplomatic interests and oil politics overshadow human rights issues. The Nigerian government often labels attacks as farmer-herder clashes, downplaying religious motives. Survivors in remote villages have little access to media to share their stories. As a result, the crisis continues, largely unnoticed by the international community. Ending the violence requires multiple approaches: stronger security for vulnerable communities, accountability for perpetrators, humanitarian aid for displaced families, dialogue between ethnic and religious groups, international pressure on the Nigerian government, and just as important, raising awareness. The more the world knows, the harder it becomes for this crisis to be ignored. In conclusion, the Nigerian genocide in Nigeria is not just a statistic. It is a human tragedy unfolding in real time. But there is hope. Communities continue to rebuild, people continue to pray, survivors continue to speak, and when stories like these are shared, awareness grows, support grows, and the possibility of peace grows. If you found this documentary meaningful, please share it. Someone needs to hear the story. Subscribe for more documentaries, pray for Nigeria, and stand for justice.